Hi, hey, and all those other greetings, Spade Adventurers. Welcome back to Spade Gals Productions, the gaming unboxing channel, with me, Jake Spins, who's also from Spade Gals Original, with Gala Cyclones, Quincore, Florali, and Vlogs, as well as art videos that all of you guys can check out. And today we have an unboxing video with Sword Art Online anime figure. That's right, I bought more of them because I am a nerd. I am a super nerd. I'm such a nerd that right after I watched SIO, one of my friends actually came over so we could talk about it, because it was that insane. So, if you don't know, I have been watching the dub of Sword Art Online Alicization on Tanooki, and it has been such a wild ride. Not only that, but SAO Alicization spans from the beginning of the season, of Season 3, to the end of the season. That's right, one game the entire season. Not only that, but there's actually a break in between this season for the 4th season because there's going to be 50 episodes in total of Alicization, which is just insane. It's going to change everything, and there's going to be so many people that are going to be talking about this for years, which is just really awesome. Now, of course, I do have my problems with the series, but we're not going to be talking about that in this episode, and honestly, I don't know what we're going to be talking about, but I will say, as I always do in Sword Art Online, especially for this one, please, if you have not watched this, if you have not watched the anime series, there can be spoilers for anything up to this point, up to episode 24. If you are keeping up with the manga, please, or the light novels, please no one say in the comment section below what happens. Even though this is technically spoiler, I'm giving a spoiler warning here, so if you guys have not seen it, you can turn back now. You have that choice and that option. However, though, this is really cool because we actually have 2 separate figures of one of the characters. Now, Alicization starts off where Kirito ends up helping out, I forget his name. It's not Quota. It's like, oh my god, I'm brain farting. It's like, I want to say Quadoba, but it's not Quadoba. God dang it, Spins. Kikwoka. There we go. He's helping out Kikwoka with a project, and that just so happens to be a game at Wrath. So he's helping out, and basically what this is that he's going in with a bunch of Flucklights, which is essentially the soul of himself and AI that they are creating. So you have more soulful AI that they're calling Alice's. And they grow up, they sped it up a huge amount, so a day in there is like maybe an hour in the real world. And Kirito grows up with 2 characters being Alice and Yu-Gi-Oh! So you get 2 sides of the story because of how fast the landscape grows and the days grow, and it's insane. So the first character that we are going to be looking at is a young version of Alice. Now, this is a character we don't see that much. I'll get into that in just a second. But young Alice, the design, she is really cute, really adorable, and just very happy. But at the same time, she is super, super hard worker because she's actually the daughter of the village chief, which is just insane. So she's super important. And you have something called the Central Cathedral, Integrity Knights, all this stuff, this huge religion, and I forgot what the book is called because I'm completely derping. But essentially, from this religion, each person gets something called a calling. Alice's is generally, you know, run the town and learn all that, you know, be a part of the church. Yu-Gi-Oh's is to chop down a gigantic tree. Bigger than the world tree, and it's crazy. And he thinks that he's going to be there his whole life, and Kirito's helping out. So each day, Alice will go, she'll pack a nice box lunch for all of them, and she'll eat with them. She'll ask how his calling's doing. And it's really cute. You see the relationship between these 3 kind of grow. Until one day, they decide to check out a cave. Now, this cave is fairly dangerous. They're all told, do not go in this cave whatsoever. It would be a bad idea to go in this cave. They do it anyway because they want to go and get some ice for the village. I know, so wholesome. These guys, they're cute. They're young, but they are very nice, very useful, very kind. Like, seriously, they're like, we're just going to go into a cave to get some ice, because why not? And there's actually a dragon in there, but when they go inside, the dragon's nowhere to be seen. Well, actually, it's to be seen. It's just dead. Just bunch of bones. This is a lot darker version of SAO type of thing. I mean, SAO always has its dark moments, but anyway, so they go on further, and Alice ends up tripping. Here's the thing, though. A few of her fingers go into a place called the Dark Territory. We don't know anything about the Dark Territory, really, from the season, except for it's bad. There's a bunch of just dark creatures there that they're all fighting. Only Integrity Knights can go in. But it is forbidden by the church to go into the Dark Territory. And even though a few fingers went into the Dark Territory, the next day they went and they picked up Alice. Yu-Gi-Oh gets the seal onto his eye where he can't move, and Kirito's trying to fight as much as he can to save Alice, and it just doesn't work. And she's taken away, and for years they have absolutely no idea what's going on. Now, one thing I should mention is that for Kirito, you'd think, oh, well, you know, he knows they're AI. He knows it's just a game, and even though he's very passionate about these things, he knows that this is an AI, right? So he's not going to be that upset. But here's the thing. When they put him in there, they blocked all of his memories from the real world so that he would have a genuine experience, and they were seeing if an actual person growing up there would affect the AI growing up there, that are building this civilization, that built this church, that built all of this, and they wanted him to go in also to kind of balance it out, you know, see how the world's doing, but balancing it out. Alright guys, so I know it's been a while, but we are going to open up Alice right here, who's just freaking adorable, and I did forget once again. Hopefully I don't rip this. Is there... Alright, hang on guys. Alright guys, I got my handy dandy thumbtack. I know it's not what I want to be using either, but you know. And sorry that this video is a bit longer, but I literally just watched this, and I'm glad that for once recently, because a lot of these unboxings, I haven't been able to give you guys any information, and I've been feeling kind of sad about it. But now, because I just watched all this, I can give you guys so much information about this, and you guys can be able to check it out. Of course, though, because this is young Alice, I'm only giving information about her, and we will be giving more information with the next one about Alicization, and I'm definitely sure we'll talk more about that. If you're wondering, I don't have any figures from, it also starts with an A. It's like Alternative. Alternative, that's what it is. It's Sword Art Online Alternative, but I don't have any figures from that. If I ever do get any figures from Sword Art Online Alternative, though, I will definitely be talking about it. But that, it's so dark. It's so, like, I need to rewatch it just in spurts, though. Now, one of the things that I'm really excited about this figure for is not only the fact that it's young Alice, but one of my favorite figures from SAO has a is Asuna on the stairs with a lunchbox, and oh wow, she is actually a fairly big figure. I was not expecting her to be that big, but she also has a little packed lunch, which kind of symbolizes her little innocence and her happiness and her relationship with the two. And there's so much that I want to talk about Yu-Gi-Oh and Alice, because they like each other, and it's just really cute. And I I just want to talk about it. But again, I can't because that's later on this season. But young Alice does appear later on, even though a lot of the season is them being older. So right here, you've got the nice weave-in basket with a nice white blanket on it because there's no ice. It's summer. They want to keep this cool and fresh, and this looks super good considering I only paid like... I didn't even pay $20 for this. I bought like 2 figures, and I maybe paid like $30 to $40. No coupons either. And I got this on Crunchyroll. Alright, so Alice right here, the young Alice, is on her knees with her her dress like this. So this is pretty much the best way to hold her. So her dress is kind of her stand, meaning that you're definitely going to have to be super, super careful with her. And there's definitely going to be a lot of dust in that dress. Because one thing I've noticed in this whole entire thing for anime figure collecting, they pick up a lot of dust and you have to dust them very often. So I'm definitely going to have to keep an eye on that. So for this figure, you have all the ruffles that look very nice, and you have her hands pressed on her dress, probably so that, you know, you get this cute pose. There's not too much you can do with her arms in this, and it's just really innocent and adorable. You've got her little headband bow on top of her head, because who could not be more innocent than having that on there? If you're wondering, she is based on Alice from Alice in Wonderland, which is just so perfect and just amazing. You've got the blue maid type dress, which is kind of the dress that Alice, well, from Wonderland actually did have. You've got you've got the dress itself as well as the apron. The apron spans from here with all the frills and stuff all the way to the back. On the back, you also have, on the front, you have another bow being right here on her belt, but you may have noticed from her braid when I turned it over that in this braid, which is just a very impressive thing that they ended up doing that, and that it looks so well. Seriously, just look at that. That's a bunch of overlapping pieces that they would have had to carve texture into, or have a machine carve texture into, probably some kind of like a 3D printing process and hand painting type thing. But going from there, you go into this bow, which is actually in her hair, not on her back, which that braid goes into this cute little ponytail, and that goes like all down her back. In the front, well, back to the front, you do actually have these little sideburns, and I'm going to look at her face really quick. So in the actual thing, I was considering not getting her because I was like, her face does look a bit like pudgier, but that also works very well. And I'm just saying, like, it just looked kind of weird because with her cheeks, I shouldn't have said pudgier. I apologize. But her face looks a little more rounded. That's because she's a younger version, which makes a lot of sense, and that's occurring to me now. But also, what I meant to say was in the picture, her face looked a little bit flatter. But I still found the figure really cute and really innocent, and I thought, you know what, this would fit really well into my figure collection. Sure, it'll take up a lot of width, but height-wise, that's definitely going to fit on the shelf. So I'm going to give you guys a closer look at her face once again. You have to get kind of the right angle. But her eyes are really cute, really big and innocent. They look a little bit sad, but other than looking a little sad, they do look really nice. Oh, wow, that's actually a really, really good... That's a really good angle for her. Like, on the side like that, that just looks awesome. Mate, I give Alice a high five, but she has her hands very much down below, so I really can't do that. And, of course, she does have the eyebrows there as well. You do have the coloring of the light blue to dark blue. It is a little harder to see because of how I had to put the camera, but definitely looks really nice. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but the dress actually does have a texture. It kind of reminds me of a material that we used in elementary school, where we put it on our arms, and it was these little sheets. I don't remember what they were called, but these little sheets we put around our arm, and we wet them with water, let them stay there for a little bit, and it made like a mold. It made a cast around our arm, and then we took it off. I don't remember why we did it, and it may have been middle school, because I had art in middle school too. But I remember it was when I was like fairly young, like somewhere elementary, middle school. And I don't remember what it was for, but I remember looking at this, that's what that reminds me of. It reminds me of that like type of texture and that look. So Alice looks really awesome. She does have her her boots there, and the textures are pretty good. So you can't really see the boots. So guys, it's very hard to actually show off the boots, because I don't want to show any inappropriate angles, because that is the bottom of her dress, and you don't have, like, it's a flat line and then it's like inappropriate zone, and I do not want to show any non-PG inappropriate stuff, especially for innocent young little Alice, who is just adorable. Like, seriously. If anything, though, before we end off the episode, I would like to say I kind of wanted to see an adult version of Alice with a design like this, with the innocent blue dress just as an adult, because I feel like it would have been really cool. We ended up seeing her in a very different design, which we won't see in the other figure, but we see her in more of armor and stuff. So it is a little unfortunate we don't get to see this type of Alice as an adult, but I'm sure at some point they'll probably release art of that kind of stuff, especially with the one game that they have going on, which we'll probably talk about in that anime figure. So if you guys liked this this video, make sure to hit that like button, share this out with everybody you know and love, brother, mother, sister, father, iguana, as well as any Sword Art Online fans that you guys know. If you guys want to actually get this figure, I'm not sure if it would be available, but it is still fairly new, despite me waiting quite a while to do this video, just because I wanted to get as much information as possible, and unboxings you have to do on a certain day. But if you do want to get it, you can look on places like Otaku Mode. That's where I usually get a lot of my anime figures. They're super great over there. They have this premium point system that, if you remember, you can use, and one of the figures I got like half off on because I had $40 in these points, and I used a good like 16, so I cut that thing in half. And for participating figures, you can use that. So you could essentially get some figures for basically nothing, and it's insane. This is not sponsored by anybody. You can get these stuff on Crunchyroll, which is where I got these, and they have a very wide selection. And there's a few other places that you can go and get the stuff. There is one figure I recently bought that's coming in August that is from a place called USA Gundam Store, but I've only bought one figure, and that's coming in August. So I'll probably talk about that more at that point. But it's also been a while since I've done that. I have a lot of figures just pre-ordered. Mostly of Sword Art Online, because right now, it's the only anime I'm watching. But eventually I'll watch more, and if the figures are cheap enough, we can do some unboxing videos. But anyway, though, guys, I hope that's helpful, and if you have any more questions in the comment section down below, make sure that, feel free to ask me, you know, because I'll try to help as much as I can. Anyway, though, guys, let me know what you think of the season, the video, and all that. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Keep your toes safe. Also your anime figures. And make sure to pack your lunch. Haha. Now there's gonna be my fingernail with blue paint in front of the camera, as well as a lunchbox for like 20 seconds. Yeah, that's just from, don't mind the fingernail, it's just from when I painted my room like a month ago, and I just couldn't get rid of all the paint, and I'm sorry for that. Oh, and I dropped the thumbtack. That's awkward. Sorry, it's really hard to hold this. My arm's starting to hurt now. And it's hard to keep in front of the camera. Alright, guys. I'll see you later.